Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Ivan of Plotted Studios and today we are going over the Fredenstein Artistic MicPre Plus. The Artistic MicPre Plus features a revolutionary tube-type distortion circuit. The variable rotary control enables a myriad of new creative possibilities and prevents cold, stale, generic sound. To further enhance this preamplifier, the OPA2 discrete operational amplifier is in a league of its own, being a proprietary Fredenstein design using SMT technology. Inside the OPA2, it is based off of the matched dual integrated input transistors, propelling the specs compared to older designs API. Another tradition that Fredenstein also follows is socketing the op-amp in order to remove it without tools. Another enhancement is its American-made steel core output transformer, known for its smooth, vintage sound without masking the original quality of the instrument. API. From top to bottom. Color. When illuminated, the color circuit is active. The variable rotary control allows you to adjust this distortion circuit from very subtle to extremely pronounced. In addition to this, the color feature is level dependent in the same fashion as tube gear. Output LED. Since there is no output rotary control, our output LED will notify us when signal level reaches positive 20 dB. Signal LED. This LED will illuminate when the output level is greater than negative 30 dB. Gain. Rotary control for gain. Minimum is positive 20, where the maximum is positive 65 dB. So I do want to mention very briefly, I would like to mention very briefly that this can power this. It's a SM7B, and SM7Bs are quite honestly known for not enough gain. You need a very, very gain on tap microphone preamp. This Pre Plus can do it. Polarity switch. When illuminated or on, it will reverse the output polarity. Pad. This pad switch, when illuminated, will pad the input and reduce the input attenuation by 20 dB. Low Z. Low impedance switch. When illuminated, will change the input impedance to 300 ohms. P48. Phantom power. When illuminated, it will deliver a positive 48 volt phantom power to your XLR input. Now, please note, here let me go ahead and show you this. The easiest way to break a microphone that uses phantom power, such as this beautiful Vanguard V13. Or V1S, sorry. The easiest way to break this, which is a large diaphragm condenser, which requires phantom power, is when you have this button pressed in. You hear that? When you have it on and this connected, and then you unplug this. Always, I mean always, turn off the phantom power and wait like 15 seconds-ish, maybe 20 to be safe or 30 to be extra safe, and then unplug your microphone. This way, you know that the entire circuit has relieved itself of the positive 48 phantom power and will make this microphone usable for another day. So please keep that in mind. The DI input is a 2 mega ohm high impedance unbalanced or balanced TRS input. Yes, I said that correct. You can put an unbalanced signal or a balanced signal in it and it will handle it just fine. Technical data. Frequency response is as normal, 20 Hz to 20 kHz at a plus or minus 1 dB increment. Distortion is distortion, I should say, is less than 0.02%. Input noise, negative 127 dB. Input impedance, greater than 1500 ohms. DI impedance, 2 mega ohm. Maximum input level, positive 22 with the pad activated. Maximum input level for the DI, positive 18, balanced or unbalanced. Maximum output impedance, plus 26. Output impedance, 600 ohms. Input attenuator, negative 20 dB, with a switchable pad. Now, with that being said, let's hear how it sounds. This track is from Andrew Erlogan, or Earl Rockin, with his newly released River or the Road album. And we went ahead and did drums, bass, guitar, both guitar, acoustic guitar and lead guitar, then vocals. You'll hear the difference between the color off, which is the first one. The second audio snippet is the color maxed out. And so color off, fully clockwise, color is at 100%, and right in the middle is our third audio selection. Now I want to note that my favorite spot is right up the middle. It just sounds the coolest to me. If I want to get more of like a trassy drum microphone sound, then I'll by all means max it out. It depends on the source though, and just play with it how you like.
You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. We had the best times, and you were my best friend. I walk these borderlines. I get to thinking, how did it end? You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. We had the best times, and you were my best friend. I walk these borderlines. I get to thinking, how did it end? Oh. You can run, but you can't hide. You can run, but you can't hide. We had the best times, and you were my best friend. I walk these borderlines. I get to thinking, how did it end?
So my opinions overview and kind of like my final thoughts for what is probably $199 microphone preamp, $250. I don't remember the price. This thing by far and away is way better. I mean, way better than other microphone preamps that are in a 500 series slot. I would venture to say even that, this microphone preamp can easily beat out Cappy. I have a Cappy V28, the nice line or whatever it's called. I have that. It's still sitting in its box because I tried it and I like this better. Similar to the other parts of the Artistic series, this OPA2 is removable. And while I'm talking, I'm going to just pop it out of the socket and I am done. You most likely heard a little click. That were the leads coming off. And similarly, if you had a different OPA or op amp, I should say, and you want to put it in, you just go ahead and just like that. I know I took a little longer because I was talking, but that is because if you look very closely right here, Fredenstein has put little sockets in there so that way you could just pop them on and off, and you are now able to mess with that and replace them. So if you did want to try an API, you could drop it in, or if you wanted to try Fredenstein's OPA1, drop it in. I will say though, as much as I love the OPA1 for like the artistic EQ and the artistic leveler, I did also prefer it in the MicPre Plus. But if I wanted more of a vintage flavor, I'd leave the OPA2 in there. It just fits so much better. And to be quite honest, I have the F609 and the F601A that both use the OPA1 circuit for the op amp. And quite honestly, they do the job just well. I don't think I will ever replace this, but if I do, it would be the OPA1, just because I have used the Cappy op amp, and apparently it's supposed to be point to point to an actual API op amp. But how it is stock is way, way, way better than what you could buy on the market. I have, it's off screen. Actually, it's in my garage right now, but I have I'm trying to remember the Golden Age preamp V73. It's the 1073 clone. It's the original one that has like all the nice output transformers and better sockets, and you could actually modify that one better. However, when I compared that to this preamp, and they're relatively the same cost if you look on the used market for that Gap 1073, I found way more versatility from the Fredenstein. It is close to other Sonics because of the OPA2 and the American transformer. However, these are proprietary designs, and although it says 20 to 20K at a plus or minus 1 dB, this thing, if you have the color turned all the way off and you gain it just right, you have one of the cleanest preamps. But if you run it super hot, you do the clean. A fun trick I did is I would hit the pad on it and I would gain it even more just to get what I kind of felt was more saturation, but that's up to you to decide. I prefer the DIs in Fredenstein products over my Focusrite, which is the Claret 8Pre-X, which is like their prosumer line. I have an RME Babyface. I love the what is it? Converters. It's late right now. I love the converters for this RME, but the preamp and the DIs are not my flavor. I'm not fond of them. I also have a Quantum 4848, which is just a converter. I had an Avalon U5. That preamp is clean, but it's not great, and I couldn't get a usable sound half the time, and I would always have to gain it out, and you could hear hiss, partly because of its age, I'm assuming, but also just no matter how loud you could get it, it just would fart out half the time. And when it worked great, but this Fredenstein DI is 2 mega ohm. I could put the nastiest of bass guitars because no one ever has great pickups in a bass guitar, and it'll sound clean. It'll sound great. Throw a little color, pad it, gain it a little more, and you're good to go. I have multiple other sources. I have my console, which I've used for DI. I've also had the Gap 1073 amongst other preamps that I've had and now have sold because this does the job. It's clean, it sounds great, and you could use it on any source. And like I mentioned in the technical data, you could use the DI for a TRS balanced signal or a unbalanced signal, and that to me is worth its weight in gold. It's not just unbalanced. And having the 600 ohm output is the standard for anything microphone out. The higher tolerance is nice for the maximum gain. I know it's a plus 24 and the other units are plus 26. However, I've never had to even get near that with, with high quality converters and going in the box for mixing. Even if you go hybrid, I've never had to use the plus 24. If I was going to direct to tape or some other mode of recording, then I certainly would. But for my application, this works phenomenally. Now, if you want to buy this, Sweetwater Sound in the USA has these, and I believe they are still in stock. But if not, they'll order more. They'll send them to you. And if you want, call my rep, Bob Furlong, at extension 1326. The phone number to Sweetwater is 1-800-222-4700. Like I said, call Bob Furlong at extension 1326 and let him know I sent you, and he will hook you up. He's been my SE for 11 years, and he's phenomenal. But yeah, these are great. I would highly recommend them. I don't think I found anything wrong with it yet. handles this microphone right here, SM7B. And that, if you could do a test with this microphone in every preamp, you'll notice how crappy a lot of microphone preamps. This MicPre Plus is not one of the crappy ones. This one will power the 7B. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, I'm Ivan of Plotted Studios. Take care.